folks, Van Prepper here. Today we are going to be taking a look at building an SHTF arsenal on the cheap. If you are on a budget, and what I mean by on the cheap is putting together a battle rifle, shotgun, and a sidearm for under $500. And that might sound impossible, but it certainly is not. And I know that you're going to look at this stuff, some of you, and say, you know, I wouldn't want that for a battle rifle, or I wouldn't want that for a sidearm. Well, clearly, these are not the best options. But for those who are really on a budget, don't not have something because you can't afford something better. These are functional, battle-proven firearms, each one of these things, that will serve their purpose. And if this is what you can afford, then please, by all means, go out and get yourself you can get these and then build to something better later. But Jarhead6 did a video on, essentially this with some handguns, and it really got me thinking about, sometimes we get so caught up in having the very best that we ignore the fact that if you don't have anything and you want to build an SHTF arsenal to start cheaply, what you're going to need is a main battle rifle, a sidearm, and a shotgun. And what we have here is this battle rifle is a Mosin Nagant Type 53. It's a carbine version, Chinese Type 53. These are $99. I just looked today on Southern Ohio Gun. All the prices I'm going to give you are either what I paid or what they're going for today on Southern Ohio Gun. This is a Mosin Nagant 9130. It's the more common, the long variety of this rifle. Both are very effective. If I had to choose one or the other, I would probably choose the carbine just because it's shorter, it's easier to carry. I prefer the carbine a little bit over the long gun, but the long gun, they're both accurate, good, solid, well-built firearms. Now, ideally, you're going to be looking for your main battle rifle to be some kind of semi-automatic. You can still get those on the cheap. You can get an SKS for about $325. You can get a high-point carbine if they're legal. They're not here in New York, but if they're legal in your area, you can get those things on the stripped-down models for $220 on Southern Ohio Gun. So you can get a good battle rifle pretty cheaply. Here you've got, for the shotgun, I have a New England Firearms Pardner pump, and this was, you can get these as cheap as $179. I think I spent $200 on this, but it's just an excellent shotgun. It's really performed flawlessly for me. And down here, if you're looking for something even cheaper, is a single shot breech action 12 gauge shotgun from New England Firearms. You can get these things used at almost any local gun shop for about $90, and they're only about $100 when you get them new. And if you want to upgrade to something more expensive, you can. There are lots of different varieties, but for building on the cheap, you can build certainly plenty cheaply in good. There are lots of good cheap shotguns. And here for your sidearm, this is a Walther P1, and this P1, I think I spent $169 for it used. It's in 9mm. This is a high point C9, much maligned, but very effective. And if this is what you can afford, by all means, you should pick this up rather than have nothing. The high points, I have zero complaints about this. It doesn't cycle steel-cased ammunition, but it's everything else I put through it. It spits out. Chews up, spits out. It's pretty accurate. I've had really good luck with it. And finally, down here, this is the Russian M1895 Revolver. Now, I would not recommend this. It's a pain in the butt to load and unload, and not particularly effective, but they go for about $150. And if this is, if you felt comfortable with this, it's at least a sidearm to have. It holds 7 rounds. It fires 7.62 by 38 caliber bullets. The gas seal revolver, very good revolver. I don't know if I said, but this high point cost me $119. Like I said, if you wanted to upgrade, you could go to, there are lots of other firearms, in each one of these categories that you can go for a better firearm. My carry gun every day is a, Taurus PT709 Slim. I really like that. It's just, I like the way it feels. It's a good, comfortable weapon, and it's very accurate. But, I mean, I would have no problem in an SHTF situation if that's what I had. So, I mean, if you look at just the cheapest parts of these, we have $99, $200, and $119. You're talking about $420, and you could have an arsenal. You know, you would have the three main groups with the pump shotgun versus the breech action for SHTF. That's not terrible. So don't be discouraged if you don't have a lot of money, and don't be afraid to build with what's available. Surplus rifles offer an amazing outlet for cheap rifles. You can still get Mausers and Arisakas and a lot of other things for pretty cheap. The one thing I like about the Mosin Nagants and the SKS, which I talked about for my main battle rifle, or even the High Point carbine, is that you can get ammunition for those very cheaply, and it's readily available. And that's one of the things you want to think about when you're looking to start stocking for SHTF. So I'm Van Prepper. I hope this has been a useful and beneficial video for you guys. I'm Van Prepper. As I said, happy shooting.